On. Pro-Palestinian, anti-Israel protesters have been blocking bridges, tunnels, highways all over the country to seemingly spread awareness to their cause. Reports today indicate they plan to do it again. But when zealots are just making everyone else's life more difficult, are they really helping their cause? Like this week's blocking at the Holland Tunnel entrance, a major thoroughfare between New York City and New Jersey that 100,000 vehicles pass through daily.
From the river to the sea. From the river to the sea. Palestine will be free. Palestine will be free.
Protesters also blocked the Brooklyn Bridge, the Williamsburg Bridge, the Manhattan Bridge, which connects Brooklyn and Manhattan, during the morning rush hour, resulting in 334 arrests. They're preventing everyday people from going about their lives. How does that help their cause? Certainly didn't help with this guy who was trying to reach his daughter on the other side of the Williamsburg Bridge and lost his cool.
You're disrupting traffic, idiots. You can't do that. That's against the law. Bro, I'm not gonna start wilding. I'm not gonna start doing business, bro. I'm not gonna run you over. Get away from my car, bro.
Okay, whoa.
Get away from my car. What you got doing, bro? Get away from my car. Bro, get away from my car. I have a daughter in Brooklyn.
Don't touch him. Get in your car.
Get out of the way.
Don't touch him.
Get out of the way.
There's a reason these people are being arrested, right? They are infringing upon the freedoms of others. I would think it's having the exact opposite effect from the one they're trying for. One of the groups who organized the demonstrations, the Democratic Socialists of America, proudly advertised Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez as a member, and yet AOC was nowhere to be found at Monday's protest, which took place minutes from her home district. Nor did she lend any support even via her social media. Another group that sponsored the protest, the Jewish Voice for Peace, which brands itself, quote, the largest progressive Jewish anti-Zionist organization in the world. At least at one point, it claimed liberal playwright Tony Kushner among its supporters. Kushner was nowhere to be found at the protest either. He's publicly seemed to distance himself from some of the goals that they have as well. So they're seemingly losing even support from high-profile members. They're completely ticking off everyday citizens just trying to go about their business, like going to work and picking up their kids. So remind me again, what are these protesters actually accomplishing? Let's ask Marc Lamont Hill, professor and YouTube host. He's been outspoken about this issue and pro-Palestinian protesters on his channel. Thanks so much for coming on the program. Appreciate it. So how are these types of protests actually helping the cause?
Protests are always disruptive. There's never been a protest, at least an effective one, that was not disruptive. When you disrupt ordinary life, when you occupy public space, when you stop people and force them to pay attention, you draw attention to the issue. You know, Dan, when you say, you know, what good is it to stop people from, you know, crossing a street or going across a bridge or whatever? I mean, every march for civil rights was doing just that. Every march that Dr. King gave was blocking traffic. I mean, the Pettus Bridge, I mean, if you're marching across the Pettus Bridge, cars can't.
Not everyone. Not everyone. There were a lot of them, for example, on Washington, in, you know, the great open spaces where they would have protests and they would talk about the number of people and people would stand and listen to Dr. King speaking, et cetera. Not every protest has to lead to 334 arrests and lead to people, and again, a one-time thing where, okay, a protest and they end up going someplace, okay. But these are an effort to close down cities. I just can't see that garnering any support for the movement.
Yeah, just one correction. I didn't say that all protests have to lead to mass arrests. I said they always lead to the mass disruption of ordinary life. And yes, the March on Washington absolutely disrupted D.C. 500,000 people or 1 million people in the mall or sitting in front of Lincoln. You certainly couldn't do business as usual in Washington, D.C. on August 28, 1963.
But that's different than blocking bridges and blocking tunnels and not letting people.
The Selma to Montgomery March, they were walking across the Edmund Pettus Bridge. They blocked the bridge. And I don't think, and there were people at that moment, you know, during the Selma to Montgomery marches saying, Why are they disrupting traffic? I believe in civil rights, but they shouldn't be stopping me from getting where I need to go. I mean, this is the argument at every moment in American history. So I don't think this is any different. Doesn't make it right, doesn't make it wrong, but this is not out of step with history. This is what always happened.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.